The great hall of the Galactic Coalition station hummed with quiet tension. 17 Starship commanders from 12 different species sat around the massive circular table. Holographic displays floated above its surface, casting blue and green light across their varied faces. This was the first tactical data exchange in Coalition history. Every species had agreed to share their military capabilities in the name of unity against the growing threat of the Void Swarm. Admiral Kethra of the Velthari Empire stood first. Her silver scales caught the light as she activated her data crystal. The hologram shifted to show her flagship, the Eternal Vengeance. It was a beautiful vessel, sleek and curved like a blade. The specifications appeared beside it, and murmurs of approval rippled through the room. The Velthari ship measured 4 kilometers long. Its shields could withstand 300 terajoules of direct fire. The weapons array included plasma lances capable of melting through solid titanium at distances of 50,000 kilometers. "Impressive," said Commander Vorix of the Crethny Collective. His insectoid mandibles clicked together. "But the Collective believes our vessels hold certain advantages." He uploaded his own data. The Crethini warship appeared, a geometric construct of sharp angles and dense armor plating. It was smaller than the Velthari ship, only 2 kilometers, but its armor rating made several commanders lean forward in surprise. The outer hull could regenerate from nanite swarms embedded within the metal itself. A direct hit would heal within minutes. The exchanges continued. The Mavani showed their stealth cruisers that could bend light around their hulls and become completely invisible. The Lazari revealed their biological ships grown from living tissue that could adapt to enemy weapons during combat. The Greth displayed their massive dreadnoughts powered by captured singularities, giving them nearly unlimited energy reserves. Each species took pride in their presentations. Each believed their technology represented the peak of military engineering. Alliances had been formed and broken over these secrets. Wars had been fought to capture even fragments of this knowledge. Captain Sarah Chun of the United Earth Navy sat quietly through all of this. She was the only human present. Humanity had joined the Galactic Coalition only 30 years ago, making them the youngest members by far. Many of the older species still considered humans to be primitives who had barely learned to travel between stars. Some had openly questioned why Earth was even invited to this meeting. Admiral Kethra turned her golden eyes toward the human captain. "And what does Earth contribute to our coalition?" Her voice carried a hint of condescension that she did not bother to hide. "We have all heard stories of your small patrol vessels. Perhaps you can show us something that will not embarrass your species." Several commanders chuckled. The Crethini made a sound that passed for laughter among his kind. Even the normally diplomatic Dasari representative allowed herself a small smile. Captain Chun did not react to the insult. She simply stood and inserted her own data crystal into the table. "This is the UN Defiance," she said calmly. "One of our standard heavy cruisers." The hologram appeared, and for a moment, nobody spoke. The human ship was ugly by galactic standards. It had no elegant curves like the Velthari vessels. It was not geometrically perfect like the Crethini designs. It looked rough and brutal, covered in what appeared to be bolted armor plates and exposed weapon systems. The hull was painted in patterns of gray and black that made it hard to focus on. "It is very utilitarian," Admiral Kethra said, her voice carrying poorly hidden disappointment. "What are its specifications?" Captain Chun tapped a command, and the numbers appeared. The room fell silent. Commander Vorix leaned forward, his compound eyes focusing on the data. "That cannot be correct. Your translation software must be malfunctioning." "It is correct," Captain Chun said. The Defiance was only 1.2 kilometers long. That made it one of the smallest combat vessels in the room. But its maximum acceleration read at 47 standard gravities. The Velthari flagship could manage 8. The Crethini vessel maxed out at 12. "How do your crew survive such acceleration?" the Morvani commander asked. His pale face showed genuine confusion. Our bodies would be destroyed at anything above 15 gravities. We developed inertial dampening systems, Chun explained. They absorb and redistribute the force across the entire ship. Our crews experience only minor discomfort at maximum thrust. She tapped another command. The weapon systems appeared. Admiral Kethra stood so quickly that her chair scraped against the floor. Those numbers are impossible. The Defiance carried 48 missile tubes, each capable of launching nuclear-tipped warheads with yields in the gigaton range. The missiles themselves could accelerate at over 200 gravities and carried their own guidance systems with evasive programming. The point defense grid consisted of over 300 automated railgun turrets that could track and destroy incoming projectiles at ranges of 8,000 kilometers. And the main weapon was something the translation software struggled to render properly. A kinetic accelerator cannon, Captain Chun explained. We accelerate a tungsten rod to roughly 40% of light speed. The impact energy is equivalent to several hundred gigatons. You fire solid projectiles? The Zasari commander asked. Her biological ship could adapt to energy weapons, but she had never considered defending against something so primitive yet so devastating. Among other things, Chun replied. She pulled up another display. This is our standard tactical doctrine. The commanders watched as a simulation played out. A single human heavy cruiser faced a fleet of 10 enemy vessels, similar in capability to the Velthari flagship. The human ship did not try to match them in a direct engagement. Instead, it accelerated at angles that should have been impossible, launching missile swarms while using its extreme maneuverability to avoid return fire. The point defense systems created a sphere of destruction around the vessel that nothing could penetrate. And when the main cannon fired, the enemy ship simply ceased to exist. The battle lasted 4 minutes. This simulation is not realistic, Admiral Kethra insisted. No vessel can perform those maneuvers. Shall I share our combat recordings? Captain Chun asked. We have extensive footage from our conflicts with pirate fleets and the preliminary engagements against Void Swarm Scouts. She did not wait for permission. The hologram shifted to show real footage captured from external drones. A human destroyer, even smaller than the Defiance, faced a pirate carrier that dwarfed it by a factor of 3. The human ship moved like nothing the commanders had ever seen. It seemed to dance through space, changing direction instantly, accelerating and decelerating at speeds that defied belief. Missiles poured from its launchers in continuous strings. The pirate carrier attempted to flee, but could not match the human vessel's speed. Within minutes, it was reduced to expanding debris. We have 17 heavy cruisers in active service, Captain Chun said into the stunned silence. 43 destroyers, over 100 patrol vessels. And we have just begun construction on our first dreadnought class. Commander Orcs found his voice first. How long has humanity possessed this technology? We developed the core systems over the past 28 years. Since we made first contact with the Coalition, 28 years? The Morvani commander's voice cracked. We have been developing our stealth technology for 2,000 years. Captain Chun nodded. We understand that. And we mean no disrespect to the Coalition's member species. But humans have a particular talent for warfare. It is not something we are proud of, but it is something we are very good at. She brought up one final display. It showed Earth's military research facilities, the orbital shipyards above Mars, the training academies on Luna. The scale of human military expansion became clear. In just 3 decades, humanity had built a fleet that could challenge most Coalition species individually. We did not share this information before because we did not want to frighten our allies, Chun continued. We joined the Coalition for trade and diplomacy, not conquest. But the Void Swarm changes things. They have destroyed 3 outer colonies. They are coming for the heart of Coalition space. And when they arrive, human ships will be on the front lines. Admiral Kethra sat down slowly. Her scales had paled to a dull gray. Why are you sharing this now? Because we need the coalition to survive. And that means you need to understand what humanity brings to this war. Chun looked around the table, meeting each commander's eyes in turn. We are not asking for leadership. We are not demanding special treatment. We are simply telling you the truth. Human vessels are faster than anything in your fleets. Our weapons hit harder. Our crews can operate in conditions that would kill most species. And we have been preparing for a conflict like this since the day we joined the coalition. She deactivated the hologram and sat down. The silence stretched on for nearly a minute. Finally, the Dasari commander spoke. How many ships can you commit to the defense of coalition space? All of them, Captain Chun said. Every single human vessel will fight. The Krathani commander made a strange sound that his translator rendered as nervous laughter. I believe I understand now why the Void Swarm has been avoiding human territory. They encountered one of your patrol ships. The survivors must have warned the rest. Captain Chun allowed herself a small smile. That is exactly what happened. 3 months ago, a Void Swarm hunting pack of 40 vessels entered our outer system. A single human patrol ship engaged them. We recovered enough wreckage to study their technology. They did not recover any of ours. Admiral Kethra stood again. This time, her posture showed respect rather than arrogance. The Velthari Empire formally requests a military alliance with the United Earth Navy. We believe your ships would benefit from our advanced sensor technology, and we believe our crews could learn much from your tactical doctrines. One by one, the other commanders rose and made similar requests. Within an hour, humanity had gone from the youngest and most overlooked member of the Galactic Coalition to the center of its military strategy. Captain Chun accepted each alliance with grace and humility. But inside, she felt the weight of what was coming. Humanity had revealed its true strength. There would be no hiding anymore. The Void Swarm would learn exactly what they faced. And when the final battle came, human ships would lead the charge. As the meeting ended, Commander Orcs approached her privately. One question, Captain. Your species has been spacefaring for barely a century. How did you develop such advanced military technology so quickly? Chen considered the question carefully before answering. On Earth, we spent thousands of years fighting each other. We became very efficient at it. When we reached the stars and discovered we were not alone, we simply applied those skills to new challenges. War is ugly, but humanity has mastered it like no other species. That is our gift to the Coalition. And perhaps, in time, we can teach you what we know. Vorix nodded slowly. I think I understand. Your species did not need to develop these weapons over millennia because you already had the instincts. You just needed to adapt them to space. Exactly, Chun said. We are hoping this will be the last war we ever need to fight. But until then, we will make sure it is won. She walked out of the Great Hall, leaving the alien commanders to discuss what they had learned. Outside, through the massive viewport, she could see human ships arriving in formation. Sleek, deadly, and ready for battle. The Void Swarm thought they could consume the galaxy. They had never faced humanity before. They were about to learn why that was a mistake.